Hey there, my name's Josh. I'm part of the MakeSwift team. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a custom storefront from BigCommerce visually editable within MakeSwift. Along the way, we'll make this cute plant store with products from BigCommerce and a layout created in MakeSwift. Okay, so head into our BigCommerce landing page. There we do have a link to the GitHub repo that's related to this example. This repo has details on both deploying our example to Vercel, which is what we're going to do, and using it locally. So let's jump into this Vercel deploy button. It's going to ask us to create a Git repository. I already have a GitHub account, so I can do that. And once that's created, we'll just need to gather these environment variables. To start, your MakeSwift site API key will come from makeswift.com or app.makeswift.com. You can get a site API key by creating a new site. This is just asking you whether you have an existing Next.js site to integrate or if you want to integrate later. So I want to integrate later, so I'm going to skip and start building. And then at the bottom, I do have an e-commerce template that I've created for this video. It just has a bunch of copy and images related to plants, so let's use that. And now that our site's created, we can head into settings, host, and we have a site API key we can use. So let's copy that into Vercel. And then these remaining variables are just going to be coming from BigCommerce. Store name and store hash are identifiers for what store we have, and our access token is used to authenticate those requests. So section 3 is really helpful if you have your own BigCommerce store. This first part details where to find the store name and store hash. And this third part has a link to creating an API account, which you'll need to do in order to create an access token. But for the sake of this example, I have made a MakeSwift example, a MakeSwift example store in BigCommerce. So let's copy and paste these variables back into our Vercel deployment. All right. With that, whoops, we can kick off our deploy. I'll meet you back here when it's done. All right, so our deployment is done. We do have a 404 page as the home page, but that's okay. We just need to publish some pages in MakeSwift. Let's head into the dashboard and copy our new domain back into MakeSwift as our host preview URL. We'll want to add the MakeSwift path name, as this is the URL that will be used in the iframe to allow us to edit our MakeSwift site. And we'll hit save, refresh. And now our components are in the sidebar. Let's get going making the rest of this e-commerce site. I'll start with a product list and drop that in here under our feature friends header. We're going to want to make this have a max width, and we will want to specify the category. If you notice, that just changed the width control up here as well as the category control here. This category control just selects what category is shown from BigCommerce, and the count just changes how many products are shown. I will want to keep this as plants. What this is doing in the sidebar is changing controls that are then altering the props that are being sent into this component. So let me explain that in the code. We'll start in the product list. As you can see, this is just a vanilla React.js or React component. It has some props like class name, category, entity ID, and count. And you can use this product list anywhere within your React app. So it just takes products from this context hook and maps over them to display links. What's really sweet about MakeSwift is you can use vanilla React components like this, and you can register them like so that you can update the props on the fly within MakeSwift. How this works is our component registration is like an imperative declaration of how our controls are bound to our props. So here, this style control is bound to the class name prop. Then when you change, like for example, that width within MakeSwift, the class name gets updated and gets just like the prop changes within our actual website, and it changes the width based on the updated class name. Similarly, as you change category entity ID from, say, plants to pots, that comes in via this combo box, which is like getting options from BigCommerce. And then the new entity ID is used to filter products based on whether the product is in that category or not. Finally, we have this number control, which is just allowing you to select a number between 1 and 8. And that is used in use products to slice our array of products, thus changing what you see in your Makeswift site. You might be wondering how use products is getting product data from BigCommerce, and that is explainable from here. This is our optional catch-all route. So we just created that site, and it had a home page that is being generated by this optional catch-all route. That home page is getting its Makeswift layout data and BigCommerce data from these. So Makeswift data from here, BigCommerce data from these lines, and it's passing it into our page. Then our app.tsx is taking those props and providing them via context to all components within our optional catch-all, which includes our homepage. Hopefully that's making more sense. There's a couple more components, so if not, hang tight and you'll get it. Let us publish this page and see what it looks like live. All right, great. So we no longer have that 404. As you can see, this is the route that is coming from our BigCommerce deployment, or not BigCommerce, from our Vercel deployment. And we have our products. Unfortunately, we still have a 404 on this product 113 page. Let's fix that next. So I've already created this product template page. As you can see, the actual URL is __ product __. And if we publish this page and view it, I'll actually want to go back to that product 113. Instead of a 404 now, we actually get that template page. So there's no actual product data here. We're going to fix that next by adding in some of our other components like product name, product images, for example, and we can just make that max width again. Okay, so let's publish this. And after ISR finishes, now we have Monstera images. As you can see, our Monstera data is coming from the slug, while the layout is coming from that generic template page that I've created. Let's hop into the code and see how that's working. So if I go to this dynamic product page, you can see that I'm getting our Makeswift layout based on config Makeswift product template path name. So let's see what that is. And look at that. It's the __ product __. So basically, all of our product pages are getting the same Makeswift layout from that template page. And then they're combining the slug from their route. Well, they're combining the BigCommerce data that is relative to the slug that's in their route. So that basically we can control the layout in one spot within Makeswift, and all of our product pages will reflect that layout with their respective BigCommerce product. All right, so this is working, but we definitely need to give some TLC to the styles. So let's jump back into the Makeswift builder and do that. Something that's really sweet about custom components is when you do use the style control, you can drag and drop and change the styles on the fly, just like any other Makeswift primitives. So I'll be dragging, actually want that here, the rest of our product specific components in, and then we will be rearranging these guys. Great, and I'm also going to want to add some column gap. We need to check what mobile looks like, and it is a little squashed. So let's make this a column layout. And this page is looking more and more complete as we go. I think we do need to add a product list below this header again, and then we'll just need to work on the header from there. So can drop this guy there, add the max width again, and we'll set pots as the category. Something sweet about the style control, you can see this product description has some built-in styles with like a Chivo font. But if you do want to, or if like your design system changes on the fly, you can change your custom components without actually having to redeploy your site. So text styles as well as a bunch of other styles are available within Makeswift component controls. So there's that. All right, this page is pretty much done, minus the header. Let us jump in and view that live. Sick. Okay, so presumably this add to cart is working. We can't really tell because we don't have a cart in the header yet. But we also have these other product pages, like this emerald page. Great. Okay, so let us jump back into Makeswift and we'll finish the header on the home page. I did say on the homepage just because we want to link to this featured section from our header component. I do have a header component. It's a little different than our navigation component, just because our navigation component has no context of what a cart is, whereas our header custom component does. We want to add a max width to that, and we will be using this links control to create a link that controls to that featured section. So great, this is going to scroll down to here, that ID that we added earlier. And if you're wondering, this is the link control, and it's combined with the text control. This text control is just determining what label is placed here, and this link control is determining what that link does. Kind of like our product list, the header component is registered in our register components, and you can see that I have a list of shapes, and the shapes include a link and a text, which are just using those link and text input controls that I mentioned. So we also want this on the product template page, so let's make it a global component, and we'll publish this puppy back into the template page. Instead of adding this header component, we'll add the global component version, and that just means we don't have to add that link again or set the max width. And with that, our e-commerce site is pretty much done. Let's publish this page as well, and we can head back into the home page. We have our cart with update functionality and remove functionality. We can jump back over to Monstera, and after some ISR, you'll see we have our header component in this page as well. I can add this plant to our cart, and once I'm ready, I can proceed to checkout. This redirects me to a BigCommerce hosted checkout experience, and it also ends our tutorial on how to integrate Makeswift into a custom storefront from BigCommerce. Hopefully this was helpful and you learned a thing or two. And thank you for watching the entire video. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one.